Welcome to the Parsha Perspective. Each week, we will delve deep in a weekly Torah portion to find a practical and insightful way to enhance your daily life. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Shalom Yemini. Each week, we will look into the weekly Torah portion to find inspiration that will complement your daily life and intensify your connection to God. This week's Parsha Perspective is being sponsored by the Behrman family in memory of Ephraim ben Shaul. May his soul be uplifted and his memory a blessing. This week's Torah portion is a double Parsha, Matos and Massei. Our Parshas begin with Hashem instructing Moshe to wage war against Midian in retaliation for the chaos that they created amongst the Jewish nation. So Moshe gathered 1,000 soldiers from each tribe and mounted an attack against the country of Midian. They emerged victoriously and killed their king and every fighting age male, including Bilam, who just 2 weeks ago tried to curse the Jewish people. When the soldiers returned from battle and split up the spoils of war, representatives from the tribes of Reuven and Gad came to Moshe with a strange ask. They requested that their part of the land not be in Israel, but rather on the other side of the Yarden River. They reasoned that there is an abundance of fields to feed their many flocks of sheep. As expected, Moshe was upset with their request. He saw this petition as following in the same footsteps of the spies who did not want to enter the land and discouraged an entire nation from doing so, which angered God immensely and had drastic consequences for the Jewish people. However, a question comes to mind. When Reuven and Gad asked for their part to be on the other side of the Yarden, they said, "We will build sheep pens for our sheep and cities for our children." However, when Moshe replied, he switched the order. He said, first, you will build cities for your children, and then sheep pens for your sheep. Why did Moshe switch the order of the reasons? In Parshas Vayigash, when Yaakov Avinu found out that his son Yosef was still alive, he started to prepare for the journey down to Egypt to greet him. However, it was not before he sent his son Yehuda there first. Rashi explains that the reason Yaakov sent Yehuda there first was to create a school for the children, so they will be able to learn Torah and keep mitzvahs even in a land such as Egypt. Yaakov put the needs of his children before his own, so instead of rushing to Egypt to see his son, he made sure the environment was conducive for the faith of their future generations as well. And as we see in Vayikra Rabbah, that it was because of Yaakov's foresight that the Jewish people did not change their names, nor dress or language during their enslavement in Egypt. The reason that Moshe switched the order of Reuven and Gad's rationale was to teach them what is vital for the future. It is not sheep or sheep pens, but rather their children. In Medrash Rabbah on Shir HaShirim it says that when the Jewish people stood at Mount Sinai to receive the Torah, Hashem asked, who will be the guarantor that they will keep the Torah? The Jewish people replied, our fathers will be the guarantors. But Hashem did not accept. So they said, our prophets will be the guarantors. And this too, Hashem did not agree. However, when they said, our children will be our guarantors, Hashem replied, they are good guarantors, and for their sake, I will give you the Torah. The mistake of the tribes of Reuven and Gad was their priorities. They valued the instant gratification of abundance of food for their flock, instead of the long-term success of having a part of the land that Hashem said is flowing with milk and honey. In our daily life, it is imperative that we understand that everlasting success is built on the many small choices and sacrifices that you do today. Whether you aim to build a secure and successful business or a family with a strong sense of purpose and value, you must remember that it is the smallest decisions that will make the most significant difference in the long run. There is an amazing quote that I once heard. You cannot build a long-term future on short-term thinking. Have a great weekend and good Shabbos. Thank you for tuning in to the Parsha Perspective. Check out our website, theparshaperspective.com. Send thoughts and comments to theparshaperspective@gmail.com. Till next time, thanks for listening.